Hey everyone, it's Drayton from Virtual Railfan, and I'm excited to introduce you to a new Virtual Railfan show that we're calling the Inside Track. It's going to be all things Virtual Railfan news, so stay tuned. We've got a lot of exciting announcements. First things first, last week CSX operated a really cool train. It was the Medal of Honor Special. And if you're not familiar with the Great Locomotive Chase, it happened on April 12, 1862, where a group of Union spies entered into Confederate territory in northern Georgia, and their plan was to kidnap a locomotive on the Western and Atlantic Railroad and disable telegraph lines and burn down railroad bridges as they traveled north toward Chattanooga. Essentially, this would prevent the Confederates from being able to get messages in and out of Atlanta, and also would really hinder supply lines. Unfortunately, the Union spies were not able to get out alive. Some of them ended up getting hung after they were caught, but those who did live ended up getting the Medal of Honor. It was actually created and given to them at the end of the Civil War, and CSX, recognizing that history, decided that they would recreate the route of the Great Locomotive Chase, where the Texas chased after the General. Both locomotives are preserved today, one at the Atlanta History Center, the other at the Museum of Civil War History there in Kennesaw, Georgia. And the train arrived that morning last week in Kennesaw, and the living Medal of Honor recipients and their families boarded the office car train. It was absolutely gorgeous. It's probably the first time I've seen the train up close where it stopped. I'm so used to seeing this train go by my house at 70 miles an hour. I have a CSX main line right in my backyard, and every now and then it'll go by my house, but you don't really get to appreciate the beauty of these cars until you get to see them up close, and it was just really neat to see those cars. The train departed and took its time. They were more on a relaxed schedule, traveling up the W&A. I caught the train at several different locations, but it was really neat too because the train ended up passing by our Dalton camera on its northbound trip and on its southbound trip. On the northbound trip, the CSX Spirit of Our Armed Forces, the 1776, that was on the point of the F40 PHs, and we got to hear that wonderful sounding Leslie horn in Dalton as it was heading north. And then on its return trip, it went through after dark with the F40s on the point of the train, going past the Dalton camera again and heading to Atlanta. And then the next day it went up to the recently opened Blue Ridge subdivision, more known, or better known rather, as the Clinchfield Railroad, which just opened 362 days after Hurricane Helene rendered much of the line out of service. So big milestone for CSX there. Really cool to see that line come back to service. Another cool thing that happened recently was the 4501 was dressed up, for those not familiar, Southern 4501 at the Tennessee Valley Railroad Museum. It was dressed up as a Central of Georgia steam locomotive, and that actually operated the Saturday before the Medal of Honor special on CSX, and they did a really great job, TVRM, dressing up that engine to look like a Central of Georgia locomotive. And it's neat because if you're not familiar, the Somerville line that TVRM operates on was a former Central of Georgia main line between Atlanta and Chattanooga. So another neat thing that went by our cameras here just very recently, and we're really grateful to be able to share those clips with you. And if you're not a subscriber to Virtual Railfan, it's really important that you sign up because you'll have access to over 130 cameras at over 70 locations across North America, with more and more being added to our network all the time. So two major announcements from Virtual Railfan. A lot of our viewers have been asking us, when are we going to get an app? And I'm happy to say that we are approaching the finish line in the development of our app. It's taken a little longer than we've wanted it to, but it's because we're really working to get all of the bugs out of it. And we've developed it to essentially be able to watch it on multiple platforms, including TV and mobile. And it's all going to be part of your monthly subscription with Virtual Railfan for $4.99 a month, the introductory price. A lot of our viewers really enjoy the dashboard feature on our website. We're bringing that to your phone, and we're bringing that to TV. So hopefully here by the end of the year or at the very beginning of 2026, the app will be made available to you. And it is the best virtual Railfan experience that you could ever ask for. We're so excited to share it with you, and we might even be able to offer you a preview of it if you attend Train Fest at Milwaukee, which is coming up next month. We're really excited to attend that show, and if everything goes well, we should be able to give you a preview of the app. So that's really exciting. Now, the biggest announcement of the day, which we're super excited about, Virtual Railfan is opening its first location in Michigan and streaming at Battle Creek. And Battle Creek, if you're not familiar, is where the Canadian National Grand Trunk Line, which runs from Port Huron, Michigan, down into South Bend, Indiana, and then into Chicago, comes right through. There's a major yard there. If you're familiar with the GP7 rebuild program, GP9 rebuild program rather, it was all done in Battle Creek, not too far from where this camera is going to be located. We're super excited to partner with Community Action. It is an organization that's dedicated to helping families in need. And the cool thing about it is they are located within the historic Grand Trunk Depot, which passenger service at that specific site ended in 1971. And the Kellogg Foundation helped restore the structure. It is absolutely beautiful. And we were able to mount our PTZ camera up high on one of the towers that overlooks the CN main line. And then we also have a fixed view camera, and the cameras pick up trains going by the Post cereal factory. And for those unfamiliar, Battle Creek is where Kellogg's and Post were headquartered and still are headquartered. And you can actually watch Norfolk Southern and Canadian National switch out that factory. So really cool camera location. There's about 30 trains a day in Battle Creek, including Amtrak, and there are 8 Amtrak trains that go through Battle Creek every day, 6 Wolverine service, and 2 Blue Water service trains, which operate on Canadian National. Back in the 70s, they actually had to rearrange the way that the track layout was in Battle Creek because there was so much congestion downtown between Conrail and Grand Trunk. And so the 2 railroads worked together with the city and the state, and now they share about a 2-mile stretch of track through downtown Battle Creek. And so all trains going through the Cereal City go right by our camera. So we're super excited for our first Michigan location. Hopefully it's the first of many. And this camera will be available to view next Friday, October 17th. It'll be made available for everyone to view. The PTZ camera will be viewable on YouTube to everyone for 1 week, and then after that it will just be the fixed view camera. And for the best viewing experience, like I said, make sure you sign up at that $4.99 a month introductory offer for virtualrailfan.com. You won't regret it. But what's exciting is we will be there on October 17th. It's a Friday, and Community Action is going to be holding a special Rail Watch event. So if you want to hang out with me all day at Battle Creek, come on down, bring your cameras, and hopefully we'll get to see all kinds of trains. It's a guarantee. You're at least going to see Amtrak 8 times in the day. So that's exciting in itself, but we'd love to hang out and watch trains with you guys, and we're so excited to hang out with everyone from Community Action. They've just been such wonderful hosts, and we haven't even begun streaming yet. They actually have removed a really large tree from their property that was blocking the view of the main line, and also cut down some shrubbery along their fence that keeps their property from the railroad's property. So they've done so much to help us get this location set up, and we are just so excited to celebrate with them and you in Battle Creek, Michigan. All right, everyone, that said, thanks for tuning in. If you haven't done it, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to get notifications every time we upload videos just like this. All right, everybody, until next time, happy railroading.